I did that.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
I'll do it over. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and if it's your first time here, welcome and thank you for stopping by. Today's video is going to feature my 10 must-haves for babies and toddlers. So sit back, relax, just like me on my couch, and enjoy the watch. So I wanted to give this information because I learned a lot of this information, or I was inspired, influenced, if you will, about this information from other people, internet presence, like myself. And it didn't have to be people that had a lot of followers. It just had to be people that spoke to me in some kind of way. And for me, I took the information and I went and I researched thoroughly and I made my choices on my own. So I wanted to make it simpler for somebody that might be following me, who is a first-time mom or who is planning to be a mom like how I did, and wants the information and does not have time perhaps or resources to look for the information, or doesn't even know what to look for. So I'm trying to just make it all simple for you and pay it forward as somebody did for me. Now, if you do know me, I am very, very picky. Some may say picky, that has a negative connotation. I'd like to say I'm specific. And so this information was handpicked. It was very hard for me to narrow it down to 10. Obviously, there are a plethora of other things that I like and I would get for this baby and for my toddler. But for now, I did the must-haves that I thought were essential. So without further ado, here we go. Now I'm going to start with diapers, right? Basic necessity. I did not try plenty of brands because I researched and narrowed it down to 2 that I wanted to try. There are a lot of up-and-coming diaper brands out there that are made strictly from bamboo, etc. But I decided to just go with the 2 main brands that spoke to me in some kind of way, and those brands were Honest and Pampers. Pampers I actually didn't care to try. I just got them from the hospital, and so I used them, and they worked in the beginning of Jace's life, but from the time they ran out until now, I've used Honest. I have tried Pampers actually for about 6 weeks, the end of summer into the fall, and they gave Jace a rash. So I do not use them anymore. But why Honest? They are an eco-friendly company, which is important to me. They have favorable and seasonal prints, which I love. It's always something for me to look forward to. They are super, super, super absorbent. I did not need anything to add to Jace's diaper or thicker diapers really until he was past 26 pounds and drinking and eating a lot more and peeing out of his diaper. So I bought some absorbent pads with his new size 5 diapers in Honest brand to put in the diaper so that he does not pee out of his diaper, because he sleeps 12 plus hours. So that's a long time to not have a diaper change, and that has been working. But outside of that, those diapers ran 12 hours right up until he was like 15 and a half, 16 months. So they're super absorbent. I find for what I get on subscription, the price is reasonable, but that's from my taste and from my budget. You'd have to decide. On subscription, you pay, like, when I round it off, about $85, and you get 4 large packs of wipes and 7 packs of diapers in whatever size you are using at the time. I think it's pretty decent. And lastly, they don't rash the baby's bottom. So now we move on to formula. Not all formulas are created equal. And I will say there is a saying that I hear going around that breast is best. And you know, we know this, but fed is best. And so every woman cannot produce breast milk or does not produce breast milk, however you want to look at it. And so it's my desire to not have women come to my page and feel like they're less than if they are unable to breastfeed. So like I said, fed is best. Now I went ahead and I researched intently because I am very, very strict on what I train Jace's palate to like. So I researched his formulas because I always wanted to supplement with formula and not make it that when I needed to go back to work or when I need to go and do something that I can't because he needs my breast to live. So from the time he was born, he was having both breast and formula, and I made way more than I needed to make with breast milk for him to feed. So here we go. Now, the brands that I use are European for his formula. I do not use American brand formula for Jace, and I will not be doing that for the baby that I am carrying currently. I will have 2 links in the description box for you guys to click on at your leisure so that you can do your own research, and there are comparison charts. One is a comparison chart and the other one is a link that explains the reasons why people that do research choose European formulas over American brand formulas. So I will provide that for you to look up on your own. For now, I will give you a few of my reasons why. The European formulas contain no unnecessary ingredients. And guys, bear with me as I look down. Yes, my pregnancy brain is not allowing me to store a lot of this information, so I have it bulleted here so that I can remember what I want to say. So just bear with me if I take my eyes off you and look down, because I want to make sure that you guys are fully informed and that I don't miss anything. So yeah, they contain no unnecessary ingredients. No chemicals, additives, synthetic nitrogen fertilizers, or pesticides, or added sugars, which is major for me. They have no peanuts, wheat, or soy. It does not cause gas, bloating, or constipation. Jace has never been constipated, never, and he's 17 months. It's light on their stomach. It's the strongest contender of the 3 that I thought were best. It's completely pure. It's Demeter
is known as the Demeter standard,
which is like organic plus. And if you know me, these things are very important to me. And the farm is biodynamic, which means that there are no synthetic pesticides or fertilizers or genetically modified technology, and it resembles breast milk. Moving on to what Jace uses now. The other German brand that I also really love is HIP. The Lebenswert only had 3 stages, so I let him use that milk for all 3 stages along with my breast milk. And bear in mind, Jace was predominantly breastfed. Jace would have maybe 1 bottle a day some days, if that. But once I stopped breastfeeding at 10.5 months, I needed to find follow-on milk because I knew that he was approaching a year. And so the milk that I chose was the other German brand, HIP. It's hyperallergenic for babies with sensitive stomachs. It contains all essential vitamins, pre and probiotics that are required for babies to grow strong. It's certified organic, also resembles breast milk, and it contains DHA and ARA. A lot of American baby formulas contain corn syrup and do not resemble breast milk and contain processed sweeteners, corn syrup, maltodextrin, sucrose, or table sugar because it's cheaper. Both European and American formulas contain palm oil, which is not desirable. However, European formulas contain way less than American formulas, and with the combination of other plant-based oils, the small amount of palm oil in European formulas become insignificant and does not cause an issue for your baby. Pre and probiotics are found in breast milk and in many European formulas. This contributes to a healthy gut microbiome for your babies. DHA and ARA are components of breast milk as well and are found in many European formulas. Are you convinced? In the US, the FDA guidelines for nutrients included in baby formulas are very basic. It's only necessary for the ingredients to be broadly safe. There's no specificity as it pertains to what proteins, carbohydrates, and fats can be included. This is why inexpensive processed sweeteners like corn syrup and sucrose, glucose syrup, etc. are allowed in the formulas in America.
This is America.
In Europe, the Commission has severely strict standards for acceptable ingredients in infant formulas. For instance, European formulas with intact milk protein are not allowed to contain sucrose. The carbohydrate content must have 30% lactose at minimum. Pectins, fructans, and carrageenan are amongst the ingredients or preservatives prohibited in European formulas. Most importantly, European formulas are organic and completely free of pesticides and genetically modified ingredients. The corn syrup in American formulas means that there is genetically modified ingredients present as the corn has undergone some type of genetic alteration, which you do not want in your baby formula. While babies enjoy sweet taste, lactose, which is found in breast milk, is indeed sweet enough, and they're able to break it down naturally without causing the pancreas to work over time. The above mentioned Inexpensive sweeteners in American formulas have a high glycemic index, which makes it more difficult to regulate blood sugar levels. The processed sweeteners so early on is likely to make the babies develop a sweet tooth, which ultimately is creating poor eating habits for the baby and training their palates to heavily desire sugary foods as young children and into adulthood. So that is it for me on formulas. So we're moving on to another must-have for me. Pacifiers. Brands I prefer are Nature Sutton and Havia. I recommend non-toxic pacifiers. These pacifiers are made from 100% rubber, and some are made to touch the baby's nose to mimic the breast, and others are made to go around the baby's nose. The different types of nipples are rounded and orthodontic. I'd recommend going with an ortho-paci as they prevent misalignment and other issues with the baby's teeth that are likely not guaranteed to occur. The recommended age to start weaning is 6 to 7 months. However, I discontinued use with Jace's pacifier when he was about 10 months, right before maybe 2 weeks before I stopped breastfeeding him. Actually, no, I discontinued use with Jace's paci around 9 months, which was like a month and a half before I stopped breastfeeding him. And he was fine. There was no process. I took it and I tried it a couple of weeks later and he was not interested. I will say, however, though, Jace was never keen on pacis from the very beginning. We got him into a pacifier, but he was not keen in the beginning. Next up, clothes. Plenty of onesies, socks, mittens, depending on where you live. Actually, no. Wherever you live, you will need mittens if you don't want your babies to scratch out their eyes. But something to note. Please, for people that may be gifting mothers, if you're buying clothes for the baby, buy them according to what age the baby is expected to be at the time of year. For instance, Jace had summer clothes that were 6 to 9 months. When he was 6 to 9 months, it was the winter. So he could not wear them. So that's how mothers end up with a bunch of clothes that they can give away to other people's kids or whatever. It would be more advantageous for moms to not go pick up and not consider the season that, I mean, if you live in a place that has seasons like I do, I live in New York, or even if you live in a tropical country, you want to pick up clothes that suit the time of year. That is best. So if the baby is going to be 3 to 6 months in the fall, pick up some hoodies or whatever. That way your money is well spent and we as mothers don't have to give away the clothes that you give us, or perhaps hold on to them for another baby that we might never have. Thankfully, I have lots of stuff that I can use for this next child if it is, in fact, whether it's a girl or boy. I bought unisex stuff for Jace, so generally I'll be fine in the clothing department. But this baby is 2 months shy of Jace's actual birthday. They will be born at the top of summer as opposed to on the end of summer. So I actually still will need to purchase like a lot more summer onesies for my new baby. So excited. Moving on to mattress that your baby sleeps on. Every mattress is not created equal. The brand that I went with was Naturepedic mattress. It's a win for me. It has an infant side and a toddler side. It's an investment, but it's worth the money. It's breathable and organic. The waterproof surface allows healthier hygiene as you can simply wipe it clean after any bathroom incidents or spit ups, which saves time in the middle of the night. Next up, we have the baby lounger bed. Now, I know most of you might know of the DockATot, or the Kakuna baby is not as popular, but it's so nice. I actually have not used it, but I purchased it already for this baby that I have, and seeing it, I understand why it's on the up and up, like it's up and coming. It's also European brand. So let me go into the functions and why I am suggesting the Kakuna baby based on what I see so far. The DockATot is multifunctional. You can have your baby take supervised naps in it, change their diaper in it, lounge in it while using the play gym. just to name a few of the things that they can do. But the size of the DockATot present a little bit of a problem, which is why it says that, you know, do not allow your baby to sleep in it overnight, because if the baby cannot pick its head up or whatever the case may be, and it turns the size of the DockATot, they can suffocate as they will not be able to breathe. The Kakuna baby nest does not have sides, and there have been no reported deaths for the Kakuna baby, which is a plus for me. The Kakuna baby respects all medical recommendations for sleep safety. It has an elongated semi-fetal position. It minimizes the risk of flathead syndrome, and it limits reflux in babies. And guys, reflux is no joke in a baby. Jace has reflux up until today, and really, if he's such a peaceful kid and he's so easy to watch. If he did not have reflux and his small feeding issue, he would just be like completely problem free. But reflux is a little tough, so anything that will help alleviate that is worth my money. Because both the DockATot and the Kakuna baby are quite pricey. Now we're moving on to bottles. I can't tell you about a plethora of bottles because I made a choice for one bottle based on just basic things that I know, which I have written here for you. I use the Dr. Brown's glass wide neck bottles. I prefer glass over plastic for various reasons. Glass is easier to clean and easier to sanitize because it can withstand high temperatures, which ensures that the bottles can be fully sanitized. Glass bottles do not hold odors or residue, and your baby's milk can taste better as a result of this. The bottles don't scratch as plastic bottles do, and like I mentioned before, the scratches in plastic bottles hold smells. Have you ever used a Tupperware container where you washed it thoroughly? You may have put it in the dishwasher, or perhaps not. I don't even know if those things can go in the dishwasher, but I digress. You wash your plastic container and then you put new food in it, but you can either taste or smell the food from the last time that you used it. Same thing happens with baby bottles, and so glass bottles are much better because it does not do that. Also, plastic bottles scratch, and the bacteria can seep into those scratches and not make it sanitary or healthy for your baby to be drinking. So my recommendation is glass. The Dr. Brown's bottles do come with inserts though, but the wide neck ones make it so that you can use them without the insert, without spillage. If you use the older Dr. Brown's bottles, if you don't use the insert, the milk will spill out when you try to feed the baby. But these newer ones, the wide neck ones in particular, I can vouch for. You don't have to use the inserts because they are a pain in the butt to wash. Moving on. I live and die by a white noise machine. They block out household noise and they help babies sleep faster. Now there are a bunch of other things that I can say, but there's a reason why on every baby registry or recommendation list, there's a white noise machine. There were times when I had my white noise machine set to go off at like 7:15, and if Jace slept past 7:15 and that white noise machine went off, he would wake right up like clockwork. And now he is 17 months. If I have that machine on, once that is on, he can go in ready to play, and once I turn that on, he settles and he knows that sleep time is coming. So it is really just the thing that you need for your baby and toddler. Baby monitors. Now there are a plethora of brands for baby monitors out there. I did not go ahead and offer a preferred brand because I have not tried very many. I can only give you the recommendations for the ones that I use, and because mine is hooked up to my roof, I cannot tell you the brand. But we also use, just to get a 360 view of Jace's nursery, we also use Wyze cameras, which are very inexpensive, and you have night vision and it's high definition. You can see all times of day and hear your baby, and you can even use them to speak to your baby as you are looking at the baby if the baby wakes up. But baby monitors offer a sense of security for parents as the baby can be seen at all times, right? And parents have a moment of downtime to do something for themselves while still being able to have eyes on the baby. So those are my 2 reasons why. Okay, last but not least, a baby carrier. It allows for the baby to be close to you or the dad. It allows your hands to be free so you can get stuff done with the baby being on you and settled. For example, when my baby is born, it's likely that at some point in time, he or she is going to need me at the same point in time that Chase might need me. And so instead of being completely overwhelmed and consumed with anxiety if my newborn is screaming and I have to put him or her down to go and maybe take Jace to use the potty or to change his diaper, I can have the newborn on me in the carrier and I can go and do what I need to do with Jace because my hands are free. So that is also a recommendation that transitions nicely with your baby and toddler. Now, baby carriers, I have not used very many, but the Ergo baby carrier, it comes highly recommended for what my research was back then. And I have to do some more current research to see how things have changed over the course of 2019 to 2021. But I believe that generally much things will stay the same. And so I might come back with another one of these videos with the updated version when I give birth to this little baby, God willing. That's it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was thoroughly informative. If you have any questions, please, I respond to all comments. Just write a comment and I will be happy to respond. Thank you again. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends and family. We'll have something for everyone that comes by. So thank you again and take care. Baby, I make lots of mistakes.